Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos go up. I'm Liz and I'm going vegan while doing things a little extra each time. So today we're making potato croquettes. And croquettes is just a French word that means to crunch. And that's basically what this is. And then a croquette is, as a food, is just, a ball of like chopped veggies or meat or fish that's then fried. And today, to keep it vegan, we're using the good old potato. But we're also going to put a little something extra as usual, and we're going to make these cheesy. So I'm just cutting up 4 potatoes, and I'm not taking the skin off them right now. I know it seems counterintuitive to then have to peel them later, but trust me on this. If you were to just try to peel them right now, unless you really had a decent peeler, I do not. If you have a decent peeler, go ahead. But I just find that if you try to just cut the skin away, it wastes so much of the potato, and we want all that goodness. So once you have them chopped, you're just going to get them in your pot. I give them a few rinses with some water to get most of the starch off, then cover them with water to the top, put a hefty amount of salt, and then cover them and boil until they're fork tender. And I don't mean just these top little baby pieces. I mean, get in there. If you weren't able to cut them, quite as evenly, make sure the thicker pieces are also fork tender. And then we can transfer them to a bowl. Once in our bowl, this is where the magic happens. Obviously they're hot, so maybe let them cool for a second, but look at that skin. It just peels right away. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove all of my skins. Inevitably, you will miss 1 or 2 when you go to mash them, but yeah, just remove all of the skin. Once we have our naked little potatoes, you can go ahead and mash them. That's right, you don't need a ricer for this video, or this recipe, should I say. If you have one, by all means, feel free to rice your potatoes if you want that extra fluffier, softer texture, but I find that it's not needed for this recipe. So by all means, you can just mash them with the potato masher, with a fork, however you want to do it. And then I'm just going to give these a tablespoon of butter, a splash of non-dairy milk. I'm using oat milk, and then get that mixed just to make this, the croquette base just a little bit more binding. If it was just the potatoes, nothing would stick. And I didn't want to add fluff in there like flour or something. Once we've got that mashed, I'm just going to add some salt because we lost a little bit from when we peeled the skin off. Then some pepper, garlic powder, as usual, and a bit of parsley. If you had fresh parsley, that would work too. I just have dried. Either way, it's all good. Then you just need to get that incorporated. And then we can add our cheese. I'm adding about just like a 1/4 cup of cheddar shreds. And you could technically, when you're going to form the croquettes, put like a whole little ball of like mozzarella or cheddar inside so that they really ooey gooey explode. And that's, another great option. I just kind of like the cheese all throughout. It's a little less messy that way and much easier when it comes to just, rolling them out. So as you can see, you just roll it into a nice little cylinder. Some of these, the Violife cheese shreds were kind of like on the drier side, so they wanted to keep breaking. I just made the pieces, a little bit more broken, and then it was fine. They didn't stick out of the croquette at all. But yeah, just form these. Your hands will help make it a little bit more pliable. And then you can just line them up. And there you go. With our 4 potatoes, we were able to make 11 decently sized croquettes. And now we have our breading station. So I've got some all-purpose flour mixed with salt, pepper, paprika for a little bit of color, garlic powder, and parsley. So again, it's what we put into the potatoes to reinforce those flavors. Then I'm just going to dunk them in some just egg and then some plain breadcrumbs. You could use any sort of vegan egg replacer. You could even just use a little bit of chickpea flour mixed with like some water so that it's like a runny batter in place of egg. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. If you wanted to you could probably just use non-dairy milk, but I wanted to go that extra step. It does add like just the littlest bit of, added crunch and flavor. So you're just going to put these in the flour, then the egg, and then the breadcrumb, and then look at that golden crust. And then repeat for all the remaining croquettes. When they're done, we can get them on over to the fryer. We are going to shallow fry these instead of deep fried. Traditionally, they would be deep fried, but we're not going to waste that amount of oil. So instead, in a skillet, you're going to heat up a 1/4 cup of oil. As you can see, when it gets shimmery like that, that's when it's time to add them in. And then we're just going to, mock deep fry them. So you're just going to have to turn them every few minutes when they get golden brown. But it's so much easier than actually trying to deep fry them. If you have a deep fryer, by all means, go ahead. But that's the kind of golden brown color we're looking for. We want these to be nice and crunchy all the way around. And again, a good rule of thumb is that by the time you've gone around your pan and flipped everything, then it's about time to rotate from the beginning all over again. Once they're done and crispy and golden all the way around, then you can transfer them to a paper towel lined plate, just so that can absorb some of the excess oil. I also like to sprinkle them with a little bit of salt right out of the fryer or the pan. It's just a good practice for when you fry foods so that you can really give that seasoning an extra boost. And then here are our beautiful croquettes. Look at this cheese, guys. Soft, fluffy potato, melty, gooey cheese. Of course, I had to get a little bit of a cheese bowl shot. So yeah, it's really as simple as that. They are so good, perfect for like a little party or whatever. I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time.